Hey guys, welcome to the New Mat podcast. Football is back, and I am definitely excited, especially coming from the back of what is a terrible season for a club of our stature. So, before wasting any time, please take a seat and join me. Let's chat football. For starters, on this episode, we will be previewing the game between Real Oviedo versus Real Madrid. On paper, this is supposed to be a straightforward game, just like the one we saw against Osasuna. Right? It was supposed to be a Real Madrid win convincingly. We dominate the game, job well done. Everybody pack their bags and go home, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, as Real Madrid fans, we all know how we felt about that game, and there is a lot to unpack just with that game, right? So, but before we do, please subscribe to this channel. It's a pretty new channel. Please subscribe, like, and share so that way we can go the content together. Thank you very much. So let's start with expected lineup. I do not personally expect a lot of changes from the lineup we saw against Osasuna. I believe it's still gonna be Thibaut Courtois, Go, Trent, Dinhausen, Militao, Carreras, and then in the middle it's still gonna be Chouameni, Ada Goulet, and Federico Valverde, and then Vini, Mbappe. Now, this is where maybe, just maybe, we may see Rodrigo instead of Brahim Diaz. But I'm a little bit also skeptical with that because I'm thinking Xavi might want to stick with Brahim Diaz and just see how it plays out. But, you know, either way, that looks like a pretty strong lineup for me, especially against a team, who is just, coming up in La Liga. So we should not be, kind of struggling as much as we did against Osasuna at least. Now, having said that, I mean, I don't mean that in any disrespectful way to where Oviedo is football. Anything can happen, of course, right? But we're Real Madrid, and then, we believe it should be a game where we should go and dominate. Like I said on paper, it should be a straightforward game. So, now, as I preview this game, I'm going to be kind of really cross-referencing the Osasuna game, right, with a lot of things. Because to begin with, I'm going to start with Xabi's post-match conference. I mean, with a statement that has to do with he did not prepare the team well to play a low block that we saw against Osasuna. To me, that statement was kind of misleading and was a little bit disappointed, right? Because my expectation is, apart from Barcelona, all the other teams who play in La Liga, I expect them to play low block, at best mid block, and that includes Atletico Madrid, right? So for him to say he did not prepare for that, hmm, it's kind of iffy a little bit, but it is what it is. He said it, and also what is also concerning about what he said was the fact that to me, I'm looking at it like he failed to think on his feet because I mean during the game we all saw they were playing low block, right? So what adjustment did he make? Because I did not see a lot of adjustment in that game, or I don't know whether he gave the instructions to the players, but the players just did not execute. But like I did not see it, right? Uh, and I'm gonna go, a little bit more into that. And the reason why is because I expected him to have done better, and I expect Oviedo to set up the same way as Osasuna did, perhaps even see deeper than Osasuna did, right? So, which means we will have more possession of the ball. We will dominate the game. We'll be playing in the half for the most part of things, right? So that is the reason why I'm going to be referencing the Osasuna game as much as I am previewing this game. So now, what I expected to see against Osasuna was Vinicius and Brahim Diaz occupying more central spaces closer to Kylian Mbappe and leaving the wide areas for Trent and Carreras to just attack and just stretch Osasuna, right? And because they were very compact, because Vini and Brahim they didn't get inside enough and just leave those wide areas for our fullbacks to take advantage. So like they were comfortable, they kept their shape. we struggled to deconstruct their shape, and it wasn't good at all. And then another thing also was, as much as we dominated possession, it was like possession without purpose. It was possession without penetration. We looked like we were doing, some catwalk, beauty pageant type of movement. Um, so, I mean, there was little aggression. There was, kind of like our passes were predictable. Like we would take our time, like just obvious passes, right? Like the defense could just read our game so easily. So it's hard for us to kind of reset and then, play because we're giving them time to kind of get back into shape. And then we start our attack all over again because we were very slow. That is not something I expect to see against Oviedo or any other team that sees that deep against us, as a matter of fact. And having said that, we were also left-sided heavy against Osasuna, right? So Keras had a very good game, but it seemed like Trent struggled, right? Like he was not in the game. And that is absolutely not his fault, right? That is just because we just used to play on the left side a lot more, and pretty much I guess it's because of him. That is cool. But when you get a fullback like Trent, whom we all know, um, he has a good passing abilities. He can put the ball in the box very well, and he's a very good player offensively for a defender, right? So my expectation is we should have switched the play. So as soon as we kind of focus on the left and try to, drag them out of shape to the left, then we can switch to the right and get Trent more involved in the game. So I feel like going forward, that is something, I mean, we just think we just have to do, right? We just have to utilize the right hand side as much as we do on left hand side because otherwise, we can't be predictable. Like, all right, they're just gonna, play 80% on the left, which means opposition will just be sliding on their right? So I think going forward, like that should kind of change a little bit. So we'll see how that goes because we're going to play games where we will be defending a lot more, and then Trent will have to defend a lot more, right? And as much as he's a decent, defender, but I think the advantage of having him is pretty much for his attacking quality. So we have to keep that in mind. And also in key areas, right, where we attack, I did not see us try to create a 3v2 or 2v1 situations a lot more. So I want to see that more of that tomorrow. And I also want to see the 1v1s wherein we're kind of aggressive. We're not, should I go? Should I not? Should I pass? Am I going to lose the ball? Or, that kind of second guessing. So I want to see if there is 1v1, I want to see some aggression, like take the ball to them and just try to beat your mark and open up that space. Okay. And another thing also I think has to do with the substitution pattern, right? So, for example, Rodrigo Goes like played 0 minutes, 0 minute at all, right? And he is such a player whom I believe has great technical abilities on the ball. He got great body movement. He can wiggle in tight spaces. So I felt like, a team that is playing low block, Rodrigo is the kind of player that has to play. All right. Whether you don't feel like you need to start him, but at a certain point in time of the game, you expect him to come on and do his thing because he is that type of player, right? So, but he plays 0 minutes, and I have so much respect for his ability. He is that player that can shake and bake and just serve you really hard. So, um, I mean, if we need him, like if he's not going to start, and then we need him because the game is 0-0, right? Or maybe 1-0, or it just a single goal margin. Then that is the kind of player that you want to introduce. Now, having said that, it's not a knock on the introduction of Master Tuan. I love the kid. Kid is brilliant, amazing. He showed flashes of genius, and I personally believe he's going to light up the Santiago Bernabeu for a very long time coming. So he could have brought on Rodrigo and Master at the same time, like Rodrigo on the left, Master on the right, right? And so I mean, like the two can actually coexist. But why Rodrigo didn't play, I don't really understand. But I hope that would change going forward, more especially because we've had Xabi said he considers him in his plan. He has said good things about Rodrigo, right? But he hasn't really played him much, right? From the Club World Cup to the friendly game and to the start of the league. But we'll see what happens. Also, a game that we dominated so well against Osasuna, but we were struggling to create chances. Um, I mean, clear cut chances for that matter. I don't think we needed Chouameni to play 90 minutes at all. So I would rather say in those situations, if we dominate games like that, I mean, bring in a midfielder who has, more creativity, So, I mean, just take out Schwarman because we don't need him. Like there's little or nothing we have to do on defense. You can see against Osasuna, Courtois was on holiday, right? So same thing with the defense, right? So if our defense is called into action, I trust Dinhausen and Eda Militao to deal with those situations, right? So plus we have, you know, a guy like Federico Valverde, right? Like he can be everywhere at any given point in time. Um, so that being said, substitution, those are the things that I want to just kind of reference. So I want to see against Oviedo if we dominate like that. I mean, let's bring in more creative midfielders. At the same time, Rodrigo has to play. No matter what, he has to play. Um, Another thing also that was very impressive is because Osasuna sat so deep, I saw two great rocket launchers from Militao and Dinhausen. That is very good, right? Because if our opponent is going to sit that deep and they're saying, okay, do this and do this and do that, all right, there's sometimes just surprise them with a long range shot. So, and they were amazing. They were on target, and it deflected. So, you know, anyone could have just popped and just get it tapping. So that was a very good idea, especially coming from a center back. So that was good. Eder Militao and Dinhausen seemed like a good center back pair. Is a pair that I would love to see going forward. I love Rudiger, but I don't know. I think at this point in time, we should just stick with Dinhausen and Militao and see what happens. Hey, I like the competition for spaces. Obviously, it's gonna improve the team overall. So whoever plays, right? Xabi just has to make sure he's rewarding players for their performances. Try to be fair with his opportunities that he's giving to players, right? Like that is the only point. But yeah, I love that center back pair. I'm not gonna lie. So tomorrow we have to dominate the game again, um, create a lot of chances. We don't necessarily have to convert all of them, but we have to like score goals. If we dominate like that, I know low block is hard to score, but then again, the quick passes, quick movement, 2v1s, 3v2s, take advantage, go inside if you're Vini or Brahim or Rodrigo, leave the wide space for your fullback. Like they will become so frustrated and tired and they will lose um, their compactness, and then we can just deconstruct their shape. So I'm expecting a comfortable win, a comfortable win, a comfortable win. So let's go, Hala Madrid. Let me know on the comment section what you think. Let's chat it up. And also, this podcast is not just gonna be about Real Madrid, just in case you're wondering. It's gonna be about every other team. So hopefully, as we go again, we depend on every one of you out there. So as we go, we're able to bring in a lot of other games and create a lot more content during the week. So thank you very much and have a blessed day.